preparing to go to war with Russia as the BlackRock Prime Minister of Germany, Friedrich Merz, continues the militarization of the state and their threats against Russia. The head of the German Air Force even said they are ready to fight Russia right now, as Germany fantasizes about starting another world war. The German ruling class is obsessed and following in the footsteps of their Nazi grandparents, fantasizing about killing Russians again. Remember how Germany was supposed to be demilitarized after World War II? Now Germany is slashing social spending, including cuts to healthcare and pension benefits, in order to fund NATO more and to implement the militarization of the state. They are implementing mass austerity in order to fund their NATO war machine. Meanwhile, the left in Europe and the Bernie Sanders NATO left in the United States has zero criticism of this apparently. Germany is even requiring military-aged men to regularly check in with the government and ban them from staying abroad for long periods of time. Germany be like, we can't allow you to take long vacations abroad. What if we need you to die on behalf of NATO? Germany and Japan are remilitarizing with the fantasy of murdering more Russians and more Chinese. Didn't they learn from World War II? We are witnessing history repeat itself and humanity regressing.
What's poppin'? My friends, my family, we're back once again. We got a banger show for you guys today. I've been absolutely bathing in Zionist tears the last 48 hours. I had a hard time choosing which clip to show you guys. Because Americans just now realize that there's consequences to losing a war. You guys realize that NATO is next, right? I was talking shit to Michael McFall, like, bro, hope you guys realize that L to NATO is coming. If you guys think this war is humiliating for the United States, wait till people in Europe wake up to the reality that they already checkmated in Ukraine as well. I have my brother join us tonight. Our homie Rome, he was about to stream. And then we were like, oh shit, we streaming at the same time. Shit, we might well do a show together.
Yeah, I was like, damn. I didn't even look at the schedule. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, we just hustling, doing our thing, you know what I mean? How you doing, Rome?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing good, man. It's good to be back on the stream, man. I've been going through some bullshit, but I'm feeling good. So
yeah, Rome is back in the lab. Dude, you guys don't understand how excited I am to have Rome back. He's been killing it with the short form content as well.
Oh yeah.
But we're gonna have fun mocking the loss of the United States, but I also want to hit this too before we start on the Iran war, because Donald Trump had a crazy press conference earlier today. We're gonna cover it, where it was essentially Donald Trump's surrender, his concession speech that he gave to the world. But this is the next defeat, because I'm already looking ahead. This is the next defeat for the empire. Here, Germany, ran by the BlackRock Prime Minister Friedrich Merz. Yeah, you know, they got rid of the middleman, Rome. They just like, fuck it, let's just elect someone directly out of BlackRock.
We all seen this coming.
Yeah. Yeah, so Rome, they chose this guy out of BlackRock. Before BlackRock and these capitalist institutions, they would corrupt the system to get their leader that they want. They don't do that shit no more. Let's get Donald Trump directly in the presidency. Yep. Let's get Friedrich Merz directly as Prime Minister of Germany. And the first thing he does is militarizes Germany. Look, we're ready to fight Russia tonight, vows head of German Air Force. Rome, how do you think this is going to go for Europe, bro?
Man, it's going to go exactly how the situation with Iran went. They're going to go in with the chest poked out, and they're going to come back with it caved in. And even if they do militarize, they don't have the powers. They don't have, the infrastructure or even the backing that Russia has. Like, to even have China in my pocket, because if NATO goes to war against Russia, then China will respond, because we know it's not going to just be Russia. It's going to be, India is going to be China and all of these countries that they want to take over and use for whatever, God knows what. But it's not going to go well. They are not warriors, and this is my main thing with, people in the West that join these militaries. They are not warriors. Like, we can sit here and watch children from Russia, from China and whatnot break down AK-47s in 30 seconds, less than, we never had to go through that. They was born resistance fighters. You guys are going over there for healthcare and a house, and the fight isn't the same. You're not fighting for the same things, and this is why you're going to get your ass kicked.
Bro, they had Yemen on the side just waiting. They're like, bro, Iran, give me the word. Iran was like, don't worry, we got this, bro. We can solo them. Iran was like, we can solo them. Yeah. And then the same with Putin and China and them. China was like, hey, bro, what's going on with this nail thing? Putin was like, hey, bro, it's good. Maintain your relationships. We can solo them. Because they pretend that Ukraine is like, and Zelensky are like the head of military innovation. They always write these stories like, oh my God, Zelensky and Ukraine exceeded expectations and they are modernizing drone warfare. Them, Putin is fighting the entirety of NATO. Yes. It is not Ukraine.
Yes. And I hate when people say that, well, Russia can't even beat NATO, can't even beat Ukraine. Like, we haven't seen these people pull in. It was a pull that they was doing. They was going from country to country trying to get billions of dollars in weapons to try to keep up the fight against Russia. So, yeah, I hate that point. It's not even a good point, because I see if Ukraine had went in just like how Hamas is fighting against Israel themselves without funding from the West, without funding from the East, whatever it may be, right? But no, they are getting funded by the empire, by the empire. So there is no hero story here with these people.
You have just like in Israel, you have many American Ukrainians that is helping Ukraine fight this war. There's British nationals, and they say, look, these people are volunteering helping Ukraine. You guys are lucky that Russia is super fucking chill about this. You guys realize that Russia had every excuse to declare war against the entirety of the West based on the trespasses they made during the NATO proxy war. But they like, man, we can't formally declare war on them because that will resort to World War III. This is once again showing, this is Russia, just like Iran, showing restraint. Because if they really wanted to, they'd be like, hey, man, what's up with those British nationals in Ukraine helping Ukraine with targeting assistance? Isn't that the same as UK bombing us? But they purposely don't view it that way because they don't want to escalate the conflict. Do you guys understand how much Putin has been trying to not escalate this conflict? You had Keir Starmer stealing Russian oil tankers. This engaging in straight up piracy, and Putin's just like, fuck it, we got to keep marching on.
We can't get grown people in the room, because we all see that. That's where they're trying to push them to. They're trying to push Russia and China into these corners with Taiwan and with Ukraine, to where the point they like, all right, well, fuck it, gloves off, right? Yeah. Let's just all bang it out. But in order, if they do that, we know, people like us, people in the chat, we understand that the empire is the reason why we were going to World War III. But a lot of people will put the blame on Russia and China. Like, we haven't been going east on their borders. Like, we haven't been dropping bombs after bombs, and right. It's crazy. But a lot of people will see Russia at fault. Look at the Russia derangement syndrome right now. Even in 2026, people still blame Russia for Hillary Clinton losing. So it's gonna be crazy.
That's why we gotta start World War III, Rome. We can never forgive Putin denying Queen Hillary her rightful spot as president. Dude, these MSNBC watching wine moms, they want to start nuclear war over Hillary Clinton losing. They never give a fuck about Russia until that, bro. Remember, Barack Obama was the guy who made fun of Mitt Romney. Yeah, because Mitt Romney was saying that he was too soft on Russia, and Barack Obama was like, "This is not the Cold War no more," and he got applause by liberals. Like, this was before, and then the Great Amnesia happened. after they got the call from NATO that we're doing this war and conflict with Russia.
You want to know what's so funny about the whole Hillary Clinton situation is she don't get enough blame for actually, well, her and Bill don't get enough blame for actually, helping Putin get in a position that he's in today. Like, if it wasn't for Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton, Putin wouldn't have that influence in Russia that he has today. They show him how to take power. They show him, and like these are articles that you can look up right now. They show him how to take power in Russia, and when he took power, he turned his back on them because, hey, I'm a Russian at the end of the day. Then she's the reason why you guys have Trump with the Pied Piper strategy. So no matter how you look at it, if Russia hacked the elections, wherever the heck it may be, the fault is on Hillary and Bill Clinton. But you're still blaming people like us for some reason.
Yeah, Putin tried to work with the West.
Yeah.
And then after he's seen this intense derangement, this fascination by Europeans to murder Russians and the fact that they would never get along with Putin, even as he become more bourgeois, he's like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm gonna see what my homie Xi Jinping is talking about then. I'm gonna see what our homies in India are talking about. We're gonna span BRICS. He tried. So that's a good point. I want to get to this story here because we're going to get to the Iran story here very soon, but I'm going to show you, we're going to discuss the loss that is to come. This is the next big loss. Why do you think they're floating war in Germany, fam? Why do you guys think they're monitoring the travel of military-aged men? Why do you guys think they engaged in this massive military buildup in Germany? It's because Ukraine already lost. It's been over. They're facing a population collapse. They're now floating the idea of deporting Ukrainian refugees. Donald Trump did it. Donald Trump deported some Ukrainians. He's like, nigga, get your bitch ass on the front line. And then liberals, instead of being upset at him, because you guys know how liberals are usually upset over immigration enforcement, they was like, well, technically, I think Ukrainian men should fight for us. They should fight and die for NATO. All the liberalness, the wokeness out of the liberal mob when it came to deporting Ukrainians completely went out of their body because they need more meat grinders to throw. And the just like in the United States, how we're gonna face massive consequences towards this loss to Iran, the same with Europe. This to me, this is crazy how, and this is why I would never lay my boot off the neck of the NATO leftists. The entirety, you got to know, every single progressive Democrat supports the war against Russia. They all support now. Every single one of them, despite being so-called democratic socialists. So what they're doing, Rome, they are supporting the mass austerity of the European working class. There's no criticism. Where have you heard in the speeches from Bernie Sanders or any of these progressive politicians calling out European states for slashing welfare programs? Bro, they are losing their pensions to fight Russia. Take that, Putin. Take that, Russia. We're going to slash our retirement spending.
I'm going to kill my grandma and I'll teach you.
They're gonna slash healthcare. They're gonna show Putin. Meanwhile, Bernie Sanders, AOC, Zohran Mamdani, Ro Khanna, zero criticism of this. Isn't that amazing? The same way they have zero criticism, even though they call themselves socialist, but they have no criticism of Ukraine banning socialist parties, opposition media outlets, banning the right to collectively bargain and organize.
Those are Russian ops. Nick, what you talking about? Those are Russian ops. Everybody that we don't like, everybody who's to the left of us or even to the right of us, they work for Russia. Even the people in Donbass who was like, hey, we're going to call on Russia to protect us. They was Russian. Yeah. They all Russian stooges. These people are insane.
These NATO leftists, they'd be like, don't you know that Putin is a far-right autocrat who oppresses his people? I'm like, sir and ma'am, he provides his people health care and paid maternity leave. Ukraine bans socialist parties. They was going after people for being socialist. That's the part of the big purge of the ethnic Russians who still had attachment and love to the former USSR. Anyone caught spreading socialist ideology, anyone caught spreading support for Russia. That is what the UN report outlined. The UN report outlining the indiscriminate slaughter of the political opposition in Ukraine after the Maidan coup, directed by Victoria Nuland.
Mm-hmm.
So they became not a fascist state because of their Nazis insignias, even though that's them proudly boasting about it. They became a fascist state due to their political position, to their opposition, to the way they respond to and the way they use the state to crack down on the working class. When you have state mandated class warfare against the working class, that is fascism at its core. That is what it means to ban the right to collective bargaining. That's what it means to strip labor rights like Ukraine has. I'm still waiting for that election Zelensky said he was going to have. By the way.
I was just about to say something about that because it's so funny when we bring up these points that you were just talking about how he, don't have these elections. He kicking out these socialist parties. And, the main excuse I have gotten from people on the right of us, neoliberals and whatnot, is that, oh, well, it's wartime and, people don't vote during wartime and blah, blah. But no, that's the fuck we do, because I remember we was in the middle of a war when we got Barack Obama. But, yeah right? So why isn't that we had canceled our elections? We've been at war.
Russia had elections. Remember, Russia had elections during the special military operation. And then the Western cope was, well, don't you know Russia rigged their elections? Also, look who the election denial is now. But go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, great point. No, you a smart ass nigga. Because they don't see this shit as like election denial. Even with the shit that they do with, like, they like to laugh at Donald Trump and MAGA, but they do the same things. Like when they say, "Oh, you guys cost Kamala Harris the presidency," you guys cost,
right.
they election denialists. They are doing the same damn things, but they
I hit them with that all the time. They like, I'll walk them to that trap. Don't you know that Putin rigs is the democracy? Isn't that what you guys said Donald Trump was a fascist for? Denying the results of the elections with no evidence? They do it to other countries all the time. That's why I think me and Rome maintain to this day that January 6th was the most hilarious day in American history. Those white rednecks, you will not replace us storming the gates of the White House. How is that not objectively the most hilarious day in the history of America?
They thought they was going to overthrow America like that.
With no guns.
And liberals feed into the shit. They give the right more power than what they actually have. Because I remember when I got canceled by these liberals because I made a video on January 6th. I said, I'm not mad at them. That should be us.
Bro, that was a holiday for Black Twitter. Black Twitter had a holiday during January 6th as the white liberals was melting down. As the Black Congressional Caucus raccoons, as they was melting down. Nigga, Black Twitter, we was like, look at the white people, they fucking rioting. Look at Grandpa with his arthritis. He's climbing the gate.
Pacemakers and shit.
Yeah, these motherfuckers on walkers and shit. It was all these other white dudes.
America, like, do you understand? We got a National Guard, we got a military, we got an army. Like, do you know the powers that be? Like, we can just drop a bomb on these people if we wanted to. They can't overthrow them. And then what is so crazy is, even like this was during January 6th was during George Floyd time, right? That was during George Floyd time. So just like a fucking snake, these neoliberals use this fucking January 6th bullshit to as an excuse to funnel more money from the working class into the fucking into the police.
We covered
now the police get billions of fucking dollars during one of the biggest civil rights movements in our fucking lifetime, and they still found a way to funnel police.
Yeah, we covered that because remember we called out AOC in them.
Yeah,
because the squad supported the increase in capital funding because AOC was like, don't you know they was going to personally rape me? I feel unsafe, even though she was in a different building. I thought I was gonna be murdered, guys. I'm gonna be murdered. Yeah, dude. I don't care what anyone say. January 6th will always be the funniest thing. You had these obvious fad-looking motherfuckers. They was like alone, backward cap, sunglasses on,
cuffs in their back pocket.
You saw them in the camera telling, "Storm the gates." Nick Fuentes, all the feds, they was riling up these damn boomers, bro. Look at the film. This wasn't a youth movement.
Oh my god!
It was a bunch of fucking boomers who watched Sean Hannity, who was furious. And then Nick Fuentes and all the feds stormed the gates. And then Nick Fuentes didn't get arrested. All the right-wing influencers that were telling them to storm the gates, they got off completely scot-free. That's how you know it was complete nonsense. It was
anybody get reparations.
Yeah. And bro, we saw you guys on camera, bro. We saw you guys on camera. The police letting them in the White House. Bro, it was like a tour of the White House. Have people walking around. They were like, oh, this is fun. They would take pictures. And then they just completely rebranded this event as if all of them was being the shit out of cops. I'm like, man, you guys making this shit sound more based than actually.
Bro, I was like, I missed something. And yeah, that was crazy. That was fun.
All right, let's get back on track. Because regarding NATO left, because this is Hassan Piker's, the organization that he supports. So we just covered how NATO, led by the BlackRock Prime Minister Friedrich Merz, by Keir Starmer, and this is what Donald Trump advocated for. Like, people pretend that Donald Trump is anti-NATO. He never was. His criticism of NATO was they wasn't spending enough on the military, and he accurately, because what he said was true. Because the United States, we was providing all the funding to NATO. That's why the United States called the shot. NATO is just a military skeleton that is meant to project the power of the United States on the world stage. We fucking ran NATO. We provide the funding. Donald Trump was like, I think in Europe you guys should do more. And every single European neocon, they agreed with them. They was happy that they had Donald Trump on the world stage saying that we should spend more that Europe should spend more on the military. And then that's why you saw they all came out with a statement. Emmanuel Macron, they was like, you know what, Donald Trump may be crass, but he does have a point. We do need to step up.
Mm-hmm.
We do need to step. So you guys see how the PSYOP was engaged? So then all the countries started implementing mass austerity, cutting social spending, healthcare, pension programs, in order to prepare for a future war with Russia, a nuclear superpower. As all this is happening, the left in Europe, the left in the United States, and I'm talking about the mainstream elected professional managerial class left, they're completely silent about this. They're completely silent about the militarization of Japan, Germany, and Western states, and slashing healthcare. And that's led to the story I want to show you guys quickly, because I covered progressive victory. This is something that a lot of people are ignoring. This is Hassan Piker's people. Emma Vigeland, Hassan Piker, and Crystal Ball. It was mostly Crystal Ball and Emma Vigeland. Bro, you know how we did a general strike summit?
Yep.
Where we did like a 12-hour live stream for 2-3 days, and we had labor leaders on to discuss striking and organizing and brainstorming the future of the left working class. Instead of doing that, Crystal Ball and Emma Vigeland did their version of a general strike summit. They had a 12-hour live stream for like 2 days. It was all about electoralism. These are the candidates that we have to promote. These are the candidates. Anyone donate. Bro, they fucking hustled so much money for the audience that day. I will come in and out every once in a while, because they had it was a whole day event. And I covered this. I want a few people like, hey, yo, do you guys see this NATO left pro-war rally that they're holding on their live streams? And one thing that they made it clear was every single candidate that they support, they will not endorse someone unless they fully support the NATO proxy war against Russia. That's how you know every single person who was a part of this, they also support, even though they don't like talking about it because they don't want to expose themselves, they by proxy also support going to war against Russia and in support of NATO. These are the people I'm talking about when I say the NATO left. People are like, NATO left, Nick, what are you talking about? These people These people who, by the way, have way bigger audiences and way more influence than I do. Like you guys see the massive audiences that Majority Report, Hiker gets, that Crystal Ball and Breaking Points gets. This is a union between them in order to elect pro-NATO progressive Democrats that's going to sell out. They want to elect a bunch of Jamal Bowmans. So this is what they tweeted out today to doubling down on this. Lately, we had to grapple with several otherwise excellent candidates' belief that defending Ukraine harms the average American financially or worse, that they are uncomfortable with the concept of military aid. It is the responsibility of those with power to defend the interests of those without it. Rome, we got to defend the powerless Nazis in Ukraine. Especially when we are the reason they are powerless. They said if you aren't willing to stand up to foreign oligarchs and imperialists. So guys, the progressive left they are saying that supporting NATO and going to war with Russia is standing up to oligarchs and imperialists.
I feel like we just wake up. We just all living in bizarro world. Like,
dude, this is insane. Why am I the only one highlighting how insane this is? This is the left in the United States, fam. You guys realize that we are a very extreme minority at RBN? You got a bunch of Hassan Piker leftists walking around. You got a bunch of leftists watching Crystal Ball. Here's the graphic. I posted the graphic because I covered this weeks ago. These are the people who support this organization. Look at all these people with massive audiences.
They're Bosch?
Yeah, they're Vosh, Nina Turner, Graham Plattner. There's that chick who running for LA mayor. Bro, this is a pro-war left coalition. Their job is to try to shift the left into the United States into a pro-NATO position similar to the European left. And this is happening right in open view, and no one else is covering it. In fact, people are supporting people like Graham Plattner. Look, Graham Plattner is part of this.
War criminal.
And it gets worse, guys. People, I feel like no one really understands what's going on right now with the left of the United States. They're using Free Palestine as a way to whitewash neocons and to normalize neocon positions on the West, in the Western left. They will say, hey, guys, we should free Palestine. And let's also support NATO against Russia. We also got to defend Taiwan against China, guys. Also free Palestine.
Right, but we're going to fund Ukraine, who's funding Israel, and also got boots on the ground in Lebanon. So, like, this is crazy. These people are out of their fucking mind. And it's sad to see that people are still falling for this.
Yeah, like, it's crazy. It's like, crazy.
How don't you see that they are like playing you? I know people want to feel like they are doing something, but doing nothing is better than this.
Yeah, you will literally be better off just staying at home. They're organizing with this pro-war NATO coalition that is meant to shift what it means to be a socialist to the right. They want you to believe being a socialist is supporting NATO. That is what Val said. Someone who is part of the organization. Val said NATO is a modern revolutionary movement. Now you guys see why I'm extremely oppositional to these people. They're here to normalize Nazism in leftist spaces.
Yes.
Look at what they continue to say. I'll read this part again. If they aren't willing to stand up to foreign oligarchs and imperialists, you guys see how they hijack our language in order to justify the agenda of the Epstein class? Doesn't make you want to vomit. They're using our words and language. If you aren't willing to stand up to foreign oligarchs and imperialists, how can we believe they will be ready to stand up to America's corporate imperialist interests when they bully and threaten them every day in Congress? Hey, dipshit, who do you guys think benefit from the Ukraine war? It's BlackRock, dipshit. Isn't BlackRock a corporation? How can you say you stand up against corporation, but you're supporting BlackRock benefiting from the Ukraine war with their massive reconstruction schemes?
Yeah.
And you got Bernie Sanders, where you guys we got to take on the oligarchs and the corporations. You guys know the military industrial complex is corporations, right? And you know you're enriching them with this war. You are enriching Palantir. You are the Palantir left. That's everyone call them that from now on. They are the pro-Palantir left because Palantir is making bank off of AI targeting assistance in Ukraine. You goddamn right, Zoya. These people are the enemies of humanity. They're not our closest allies. They are here to be. They serve a nefarious purpose to use radical language to support Palestine to win people over, and then funnel them into supporting NATO Nazis, into supporting imperialism, and dumbing down and shifting what it means to be a socialist to the right.
Thank you. Because somebody in the comments had asked, like, is they supporting this because Democrats supported, Ukraine? No, they support this because they support the empire. Like this is their bread and butter. This is their bread and butter. They're the good cops to the bad cops, but they all are cops at the end of the fucking day. They all have a job to like Zoran Mandani. His job is he said it himself. Trump make it hard for me to, try to whitewash America, trying to make these feel-good stories, a comeback story that we all need right now, right? But he's going out here saying these things, and I'm going out here saying these things. He make it harder on me. And that's what their job is, bro, is to clean up the mess. We just seen Joe Biden and Kamala Harris and Democrats carry out a genocide, a Holocaust. And these people are still trying to funnel people to that same party. It ain't even the rubble, the smoke not even out of the fucking air yet. The dust from the rubble haven't even settled yet. And they trying to funnel you back into the party that caused this Holocaust. Do you understand how insane that is? That's like, I shoot up your house and then I knock on your door and tell you to join my gang or something. Like, what the fuck? Like, these people are evil. They are evil, and just because they smile more than the Republicans, just because they have a little bit of finesse or je ne sais quoi, saying than the other motherfuckers, don't mean that they are coming with bad intentions. They are millionaires.
Yep.
You think they are trying to lose their footing? You think if they really wanted change, with the millions of people who watched them collectively, they could have done something. They could have made a real vanguard of people who really could have done something. They could have put their money where their mouth is. Instead, what we got Cenk Uygur fucking union busting ass. Then we got the fucking racist, the racist chick, and we got fucking, the misogynist fucking. All these motherfuckers, they are not good. I don't care. I don't care how they come off. Stop listening to these people. If you don't see their knees, if you don't see their knees as much as you see their face, don't trust them. They're not going to be on the ground when it's time to actually fight.
This is insane. This person, I don't know who this Claire Valdez is, but apparently they are not a NATO leftist. Very weird. This person who calls himself a democratic socialist, she sees their position on NATO and she's like, bro, you guys are out of your goddamn mind. Apparently, I haven't done a deep dive into this person, but the NATO left, they are upset with her for some reason. They said for that reason, until Claire commits to supporting both humanitarian and military aid to Ukraine, we cannot endorse her, or support her no matter how much we may otherwise align. Bro, so you understand that these people are willing to throw away support for a pro-Palestine candidate in support of NATO and Zelensky in Ukraine? So if you don't support Nazis, we will cut off our coalition with you. That's who these people are. These people are not our allies. This is the bargain. This is the deal that they made with every single person you've seen on that poster. Every single person here. If you don't support their agenda, they want nothing to do with you. So the only conclusion we can make is that every single person on this poster support NATO and Nazis in Ukraine. But what's even worse is another litmus test that they have. Let's see if I can find it. Look, Rome, can you believe this? Because they were getting pushback, obviously, because people on the left like, hey, yo, who the fuck are these neocons? So people in the audience was like, in the chat was like, hey, man, what are you guys talking about? What do you mean you're not going to endorse candidates unless they support NATO? Hey, let's back up a second. Do you guys feel like we should also send aid to Taiwan? And they said yes. Yes, they say yes, Rome.
They support war with Russia. They support war with China. They trying to get us killed.
Bro, are you serious? Are you fucking serious? So yeah, they're just fucking neocons. The left in the United States are literally filled with fucking neocons. This is the Cat Abou chick. The half Palestinian, young, cute as a button candidate that everyone fell in love with. Then she gave an interview and sounded like fucking Nancy Pelosi about Taiwan. And this is what the establishment, Hassan Piker, TYT, majority report, breaking points left, that outnumber us, outfinances us. This is the dominant mainstream position of the United States left. And now do you guys realize why I said fuck this shit? I don't want to be considered part of this Nazi left coalition. Just call me a communist. Co-founder of RBN, Fred Hampton leftist. But I'm not aware of the fuck this is. And it's crazy to me when people gaslight me. When people are like, man, Nick, why are you going after Hassan Piker and them? Don't you know that you ally on Palestine? As they openly supporting candidates in organizations that call for war against China and Russia. And they supporting this guy. Doesn't everything make sense? Everyone who lying to you, and I'm the only channel, we're the only people who are not supporting this dipshit. Now do you guys see why this dipshit is supported by Progressive Victory and these dark money funded progressive groups?
Respect international law consistently. I am a firm supporter of Ukraine's right to resist a Russian invasion.
Now do you guys see why this is Hassan Piker's boy? Now this is the guy that everyone on the left is supporting. How are we the only people who're seeing through this psyop that is being perpetrated on the left? To drag people on the left to the right, all you have to do is say free Palestine, and you can be a goddamn neocon. They will support Adolf Hitler.
A fucking not right.
Bro, if Adolf Hitler said free Palestine, they'll fucking nominate him at this point. It's insane what I'm witnessing right now in the left and the West.
It's funny how people say that, you know, Hassan Piker and all them align with us with Palestine, but they really don't.
They're really not.
They really don't, because we gotta squeeze it out. Do you support Hamas? I mean, yeah. I mean, but nigga, yes or no? You know what I'm saying?
Anna Kasparian said she can't stand Hamas. She like, I despise Hamas. That's invite me on, Piers Morgan. Hey, CNN, I want to be on. I despise Hamas. And then people on the left like Anna Kasparian is based. Cooked. We're cooked, bro. That's who the left is looking up to now. These fucking careerist dipshits who condemn Hamas so they can get corporate media spots. That's what we dealing with.
Yeah, because they wouldn't be. I just seen Hassan on Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying he getting a lot of these interviews that he normally wouldn't get. And you know, if he wasn't a mouthpiece for the empire, he wouldn't be up there. Like, let's be honest, they are not like they're gonna give us a little light from here to there, but they are not gonna give us the platform to actually tell the truth. When Jill Stein went on the Breakfast Club to tell the truth, they couldn't even take it.
Yeah.
You know, so they will never give us that platform. They will never let us tell the truth. These people are mouthpiece for the empires. And I know it's heartbreaking for a lot of people because, you know, you want to have faith and shit like that. But you don't know these niggas. You don't know these niggas. You don't know these people. You don't know what they say in the fucking behind closed doors. Like, we just called our governor. You know, the one that black people in Detroit called Big Gretch, and we gave her some buffies and all that shit. Yeah, we called her ass on a hot mic talking about, well, we used to the people saying no, we just do it anyway.
Yeah, so I saw that.
You don't know these people. They're not your fucking friends. Their friends are politicians. Their friends are other millionaires. Their friends have stock and corporations. You know what I'm saying? And this is why they are pushing for war. Like it or not, everybody benefits from war. Everybody. Even if a Steinpacher, TYT, all of these people don't have, let's say, stock or money in these weapons that's going over there, their platform is what's going to get them the money that they never seen, especially during the wartime. We can see this shit. Just an example with CNN. Every time there's a war going on, CNN, their numbers are sky high, but let it just be some regular shit going on, you know, every day, niggas starving. Nobody is watching it. Nobody's watching it. They all benefit off of it. They all benefit off of your death. They all benefit from it. Yes. And I don't have faith in none of these people because I don't know them. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not building coalitions with people who say, well, if you don't support these Nazis, or they don't even want to acknowledge the fact that there are Nazis in Ukraine. They don't even want to acknowledge the fact that there are Nazis in the Ukrainian government. Well, there's Nazis in America and Nazis in Russia and blah blah. But nigga, they're not. Nobody's taking rank. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has government power that calls himself a Nazi in Russia. And there's a difference, man. You know, so
it's criminalized in Nazi. You literally, it's a criminalized thing in Russia.
Yeah.
But in Europe, they're like, you got freedom of expression, freedom to be a Nazi if you want to be.
These people is crazy.
Yeah. Let's pivot. Let's get to the main story. I just wanted to do an update because to me, I'm seeing people support these pro-NATO politicians. To me, that's a red line, just like Palestine is. You're not going to support Nazis. All these people pretend it was anti-Nazis. Now they are 100% supporting Nazi militias. Not me. Not okay. But let's get to the main story because I don't know if you guys seen this Trump press conference, bro, that he had earlier today, essentially confirming what everyone knew about this Iran deal that corporate media was melting down about. Bro, that press conference was insane. Dude, Donald Trump was completely humiliated by Iran. His tone, everything he said before about them not getting missiles, about them not getting any sanction relief, Donald Trump completely flipped on the dime, completely emasculated. It was truly insane. He confirmed that Iran it will get that goddamn money they said they never budged on. We seen Iran defeat the empire without ever budging on any of their demands. Donald Trump even acknowledged that they had the right to use missiles. He's like, well, what's the big deal? Everyone got missiles. They can't really blow the world up with missiles. Like, bro, you were just talking all that shit about how you're gonna demilitarize them. So here's Donald Trump. This is the clip. Trump says Iran has the right to develop missiles. Complete 180. Complete flip. Look at this.
In the history of our country. So we'll be working on a parallel effort with the Gulf nations to address non-nuclear issues such as the launching of ballistic missiles, which we'll be talking about, and support. I mean, they have to have some because other people have some.
Bro, this is the look of a defeated man. Bro, this man went from saying, yo, we're going to completely annihilate the military capacity of Iran to, oh, come on, man, everyone has missiles. They deserve some missiles too, bro. It's actually, if you think about it, it's kind of unreasonable for us to even demand that. Yeah, no shit.
That's what we've been saying. And then they didn't even get none at the end of the day. Like the Strait of Hormuz is still going to be closed. They might open it, so we don't know yet. It wasn't in the deal. So,
bro, I cannot. Fam, there's no words in this language that I know that can describe how much I've been enjoying the last 48 hours. Bro, fiction doesn't have anything on this, bro. You got normies. They celebrating the Knicks winning the NBA championship. You guys seen that? As Americans are celebrating Knicks winning the NBA championship, I'm celebrating Iran whooping this motherfucker's ass. Bro, what Iran did to the United States is generational. Nothing compares. You can talk about the fucking New York Knicks, nigga. Iran is on a generational run, fam.
It's crazy.
This is way more entertaining than fucking sports or any nonfiction that you guys can come up with.
It isn't like we warned these people, man. Like we warned y'all, you would not win a war against Iran. We kept saying it
forever.
And you think, oh yeah, America, hurrah, hurrah, hurrah. I understand late stage capitalism. America is going to go through their last hurrah. This is why I kind of feel bad for countries like Cuba, because this anger will be taken out on Cuba, Venezuela, and Palestine, seeing Israel get a shitty end of the stick also. But the U.S. is a joke, man. As I keep explaining to people, just because you spend the most on your military, like they kept on saying, like, oh, we got whatever the fuck jets, and we spend this much money, and this is why we don't have health care. I keep seeing the jokes, but I'm like, do you understand what money laundering is? Do you understand that you live in a capitalist society, and these people who make weapons for the military is going to do whatever it takes to capitalize on these machines, on bolts, nuts, screws, whatever kind of device it is. So it might cost the military $12,000 to buy a machine that it costs you $2,000 to buy on the streets. You are dealing with a lot of money. So yeah, we spend a lot of money on our military, but that don't make it strong.
Yeah.
You got a lot of shiny toys, but how are they in an active war? Because we see billion-dollar jets getting shot down by $1,200 drones. So yes, you got a strong army because you put a lot of money into it, but you can't fight. It's like being a bodybuilder. You buff, but you can't throw no hands. Nigga, I kick you on your legs. It's over.
Yeah, they got no cardio. They got no heart. The muscles are fake, fam. Just like our military. That's a great analogy. That is so on point. I explained when I did our show with Jamal Thomas. I explained how the Iran war, just like every single war in our lifetime, exposed how the military-industrial complex is just one gigantic grift. Inflated budgets meant to enrich the people who are awarded government contracts by our military, meant to enrich these arm manufacturers who make deals with the Pentagon. And then, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to fight, it's extremely ineffective. That's why these people, Americans are shocked right now, Rome, bro. These pro rah flag bumping pro war Americans, they are shocked right now because they don't understand how we lost. So they legitimately don't get it. They're like, hold up, I thought we spending $1 trillion on our military. How could we lose when we spend this much on the military? Hey fam, what if I told you it's all fake? What if I told you that those big military budgets is all a scheme? Man. They can't pass an audit, fam. They can't pass audits. They're spending tens of billions of dollars on these massive military jets. What's the practical application of these fucking aircraft carriers, fam? Iran gonna send a $20,000 drone and fuck your aircraft, your $350 million aircraft carrier up. You guys realize you've been grifted? Boomers don't just now realize they've been grifted their entire life. You guys thought you had the strongest military, getting smoked in Vietnam, getting smoked in Korea, getting smoked by the Taliban. Now you got smoked, got humiliated on a massive stage to Iran. That's why we are loving every second of this, because this is what we predicted. How many times do we got to tell you that tankies are right about everything, and we are consistently vindicated? Being a tanky means being vindicated by world events over and over and over and over again. That's why before I was a tanky, before Rome recruited me, I told you guys Rome was the guy who convinced me to turn full communist. I was just watching on the sidelines. I was a Democratic socialist, and I was like, damn, it's crazy how the tankies are right about everything.
Man, you might as well come home, bro. Like, shit.
Yeah, bro. I remember our first time, you were surprised, like, what, Nick, you're not a communist? Like, oh, no, I'm still trying to learn.
You smart enough, nigga. Get your ass over here. Shit. We don't need to, like, no, fuck all that. I'm looking at them niggas like, oh, no. Because soon as Bernie Sanders was talking all that bullshit, vote for Joe Biden and all that, I was like, nope. Hell no. But yeah. Let's get back to
that was the old days, or the Commies Corners days, those old school Twitch days before RBN. I'm often nostalgic about those days. But let's get back to this because I'm still laughing at this. This is Here's another clip. Like, there's so many of these floating around. I had to try to grab these last second. That's why I started the stream a little bit late, trying to grab all these clips of this press conference. Here's Trump admitting, because also another thing that Donald Trump admitted that the United States was about to run out of fucking oil. He's like, bro, our oil reserves. It would have been a global, massive recession. Acknowledging that Iran at any point can shut down this damn global economy and they have you completely checkmated. That was a huge admitted by Donald Trump when he admitted that we was running on oil. Our economy is going to completely crash. Because remember, Donald Trump and his allies were like, oh man, they're just short-term pain for long-term gain. You remember how they was repeating that? We was going through short-term pain for long-term gain. How did that turn out? They realized, the economists snuck Donald Trump in the back. You had oil executives that were like, hey, Donald Trump, by the way, if you continue this, it's going to be a global economic depression. this delusion that you had that you can outlast and you can defeat Iran, you're delusional. Anyway, let me play a clip. This is him essentially acknowledging this.
So the one thing I didn't want to see economic catastrophe. If you kept this going, that could have happened.
Remember, bro, what have Professor Morandi been saying? What have Iran been saying from day one? They say, hey, fam, if you guys don't concede to our terms, we're going to destroy your economy. And then Americans are like, oh, they look at these Iran, they're just talking shit. These Iranians, they can't do that. And Iran was like, all right, go ahead, fuck around and find out. Now Donald Trump is coming out and confirming exactly what Iran said they were going to do to your bitch ass. Anyway, let's listen to this. This is a defeated man. I love every second of this.
One thing I didn't want to see economic catastrophe. If you kept this going, that could have happened. But all I know is every time we talked about the possibility of peace, the stock market shot up like a rocket ship. It never went down. They didn't like it.
Because you lied, nigga.
Was more brilliant than anybody there is, including the people on the stage, other than me, of course. Let's see. I don't know. What do you think, Scott? Is the stock market more brilliant than you?
No, sir.
Oh, that's a terrible statement. All right. The stock market is quite brilliant. And every time we said something amazing, like we're going to settle, it would go up. And every time we said something negative, like, guess what? We're not going to be able to settle, it would go down very big, Peter. Very, very big.
And that was the exact moment Donald Trump realized that Iran had him checkmated and that everything that Benjamin Netanyahu told him was bullshit. He thought this was going to be just like Venezuela. Iran is not Venezuela, fam. He like, holy shit, they actually can tank our economy. Here's another clip we were talking about the missile program. So, utter complete embarrassing defeat.
Yeah. At the press conference, you said you don't mind Iran having ballistic missiles. Can you elaborate on that? I want to make sure we understand your position.
No, I'm saying that if other countries have them, it's a little bit unfair for them not to have some. A ballistic missile is not.
This man went from saying he's going to dismantle Iran's military to say, yeah, come on, man. If you think about it, if you actually think about it, it's kind of crazy that we're saying that they can't defend themselves. Yeah, no shit. You sounding like us now. It only took you to get your ass whooped.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna allow them to have missiles. You know, I didn't get my ass kicked. I didn't get my ass whooped. I'm gonna allow them to have missiles.
Imagine if you had a club, you stepped on someone's feet, and then you didn't apologize. You're like, man, what the fuck you looking at, bro? Then you get your ass beat. and then after the fight, you're like, I apologize. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that, bro. Yeah, you're right, man. I apologize, bro. I probably took it a little bit too far. You know that enlightenment that people get after getting their ass whooped. That's Donald Trump right now.
And this really should be a wake-up call to like everybody who's like patriotic, you know, because if we can't win these wars, especially with all this modern technology that we have and all of these promises that we had made, if we can't win these wars over there, I feel bad if it ever comes to American soil. Like the only thing that is protecting y'all, because as we can see, the No, the Patriot missiles, those are garbage. Those are not stopping anything. Your defense system is garbage. Your military is garbage. Your jets are garbage. The only thing that is protecting you is those two oceans. But if it ever comes to actual warfare on the ground in America, you're going to get decimated. Straight the fuck up. Straight the fuck up. You guys are going to get decimated. And not only this, we're talking about World War III, so it's not going to just be a war with Russia. This is why I don't know why these democratic socialists are pushing for a war with Ukraine and Russia when all it's going to lead to is World War III with China. Exactly. And possibly getting Iran back in the game. So, yeah, if we can't win over there, we're not winning over here. It's over.
It's over. You're washed. It's over. You're washed. You try to tell people.
How many times we got to tell you this, old man?
It's the shit that Donald Trump was talking before, bro. Like, has there ever been a bigger humiliation for a world?
No.
Not even close. No. And I've seen a lot of them. We lived through a lot of humiliations. We haven't seen anything like this, bro. You guys realize that there's Republicans and Fox News throwing this nigga under the bus right now? Bro, you know the anti-Trump Republicans, bro, they are having a field day right now. Mike Pence is everywhere telling you, I told you guys, kiss my ass. We told you guys about this. Who's another one? The fat boy, Chris Christie. They all having a field day. John Bolton, he's everywhere. John Bolton, like, look at this fucking loser Donald Trump. We told you. He said there will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender. How did that go for you, bro? How did that go for you? Now he's talking about he went from unconditional surrender to saying we would have run our reserves in about 4 weeks. Bro, we was about to run our reserves.
I bet Yemen was the piece of straw that tipped it off, bro. Because when they talk about cutting off their strait, and then they was actually hitting Israeli oil tankers, I think they had when I seen it, they had knocked down 5 of them. So they was losing money trying to go a different route either way. So yeah, whoo, man, this is a crazy. There's some crazy times to live through.
Bro, that's why I had to go live today, because I'm like, bro, this shit is the funniest story. This is the funniest outcome. And what we was warning against the Iran war. We was like, bro, you guys realize how much of disaster this will be for the United States? We tried to warn these people, bro. They didn't listen. And now they fucked around and find out. Now Donald Trump is now even opening the door to them enriching. He's like, come on, man. Now, if you think about it, bro. If you think about it, kind of like a sovereign country. He started saying shit that we've been saying. I watched this press conference live. I saw it today as I was preparing my show. Come on. Don't you know that you need to enrich a little uranium for electricity, bro? This is what people been telling you. This is what peace activists been telling you, fam. Listen to this.
We've been pretty tough in that. It is a little hard, though, when you say that somebody wants it, other people have it, other adjoining states have it, and you're not letting them have it for purposes of electricity and things like that. It's always a little tough. You have to use a little common.
That's exactly what Iran has been saying for years, Jerome. They're like, bro, we as a country have the sovereign right to enrich uranium, and we don't owe you any fucking explanation on why we're doing that. There's many reasons why a country needs to enrich uranium, like electricity. And the response of these white boys in the West were like, we don't believe you. We do have the right to your sovereignty and tell you how much you can enrich. Then they got in a fight, got their ass whooped, and now Donald Trump and them like, when you think about it, actually kind of need it. Everyone can enrich. Everyone needs some electricity. Bro, Iran beat the sanity into these motherfuckers. Oh my god, dude. This is a holiday for tankies, bro. This is a holiday for us, fam. This is a generational moment we're witnessing.
Yeah, Rubio do look defeated, though. I ain't gonna lie, though. Man, he used to be back there with his chest out talking about going to war. Yeah, we're going to kill him. We're going to get him. We took out their leaders and this, and that. Oh, no. Look at him. He got his hands all tucked. He all like,
Oh, yeah. I told you guys, I saw this live. I saw this press conference as it was happening live, and the body language said it all. Humiliation ritual for the United States ruling class. Big shout out to Blue Czar. Appreciate the generous super chat. Yeah, Nick and Ron, we're going to do this more often. We're going to do the next one on the RBN channel for sure. Good to have Ron back.
oh, yeah.
Appreciate the super chats. Much respect, comrades. We'll read more chats. Zoya going to join us later. I was like, hey, Zoya, I'm going to need you for tonight. She going to join us later. We got Rome. This is like the perfect guest to break this down. Because, bro, Donald Trump's biggest MAGA bootlickers, all the Republicans, their entire world perspective was just completely shattered. The American conservative have been humbled in a way we have never seen before in politics. The defeat in the war on terror was a very long thing. It was a lot of people use that to try to rehabilitate their image by speaking out against the war afterwards. There was a lot of ways to kind of help spin that, even though they did face a lot of political backlash leading to the election of Barack Obama. But the defeat happening to Iran, happening this fast, this swiftly, and this comprehensive, their entire ideology, Rome, is now being challenged. Their entire world belief. They used to believe that we was America. Fuck yeah! If we want to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, if we want to take Karg Island, we can do whatever we want because this is American exceptionalism. These people are having their entire worldview changed. Here's Will Chamberlain, one of the biggest war cheerleaders in the beginning. We have the text. The deal is absolutely terrible. There's no getting around it. The text gives Iranians huge, immediate financial benefits and protection for Hezbollah in exchange for opening the strait, which was already open, by the way, and nothing else. President Trump should renege. So Americans are just now realizing that there's consequences for losing a war, because this is the kind of shit he was talking before, Rome. He was talking that big shit before Donald Trump and the United States got humbled, because look at what he was saying before. We're getting the enriched uranium. This is what he said in April 17th. So that was a few months ago. He said, we're getting the enriched uranium. We're getting a stop to enrichment. We're getting an end to the funding of proxies. We destroyed the Air Force, Navy, air defenses, defensive industrial base, and their senior leadership, all done in 6 weeks. A geopolitical master stroke. That's what he was saying before. Now he's saying this was a awful idea. This is also what he was telling his followers to trust the plan. Never trust anyone who tells you to shut up and trust the plan, because their plan is usually horrible. This is another one. Batya. Dude, she's like one of the most insane Jewish supremacists. And she's giving airtime on CNN all the time, even though she's like an extreme anti-Muslim bigot, pro-genocide, Jewish Nazi. That's who she is. And she was one of the cheerleaders for this war. So this is what she used to say. This is March. You guys know I can do a whole 2-hour live stream just doing this, right? There are people all over the timeline like, hey, bro, is this you? Every single person who cheered on the Iran war before, they just lost all of their credibility, even among right-wing anti-communist neocon thinkers. Because this is what she used to say. The sad reality is that many of the leftists and liberal elites in America and Europe have this fantasy, Rome. We have a fantasy that the Islamic regime of Iran is winning because, like them, Iran is at war with Trump. So that was us having a fantasy about Donald Trump losing this war with Iran because her accusation was that we was living vicariously through Iran. And I will say, guilty as charged. For me, at least. But now she went from talking all that shit. Now look at her now. The greatest superpower to ever exist, brought to its knees by a few minds. Just a disaster for America. But she will continue to get CNN speaking spots, though, despite the fact she had absolutely zero legitimacy and credibility after pushing this war. This is the tweet. Everyone's bringing this up.
You see what the Israelis saying about us, man? They sound like people from Iran. They talking about death to America.
Oh my God!
If Elon did anything right, it was that auto translate. Because man, I'm looking at them all. I'm like, they having a fit, and I'm just laughing, man. It is funny,
dude. I cannot wait to see how this concludes, bro. Because I have always maintained the position that Israel is a colony of the United States and the UK. I still maintain that, but people underestimate how much Israelis, especially young Israelis, have been brainwashed into thinking that they're some sort of sovereign country. They've been brainwashed into thinking that the United States needs Israel. And you see them inbred Israelis who was posting, they're like, I think we should cut off the United States. And everyone was like, bro, don't threaten us with a good time.
Like, please do it. We've been saying it the same thing. Now we can agree on something. One thing that we can actually agree on something. Cut us off, please. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, Israel complete. Here's Trump's numbers. Look at this. He used to be more popular than Netanyahu and almost every single Israeli politician. Now he had a massive net negative change in Israel. You guys see how you can never satisfy the Jewish supremacists. Donald Trump is one of the biggest goy slave cucks to Jews of all time. And it's still not enough. They still can't stand his ass. They finally found a president that was dumb enough to fight this war. And now they're lashing out because he lost it. This is the fate of all goy slaves, to be humiliated and eventually betrayed by the Jews they sold out for. Like Israelis depends on Donald Trump. Now massively negative. Minus 20 shift since May. Just only 1 month. Humiliation on a global stage, on a global level for Donald Trump. But now you have, I want to show you guys the liberal meltdown on this. Because MSNBC, CNN, and these quote-unquote liberal channels, they have essentially been a Klan rally for the last 24 hours.
Right.
Like, bro, every single segment I've seen about this have been, it seems like it's directly written by a member of the IDF. Like, the IDF media person is writing every single one of these segments. So here's MSNBC they're in full-blown meltdown mode over the Iran deal. And one of the things they're furious about is the fact that Iran was able to potentially, theoretically, end an Israeli offensive into Lebanon. Well, that we all know that is to be seen, but that is what this deal says. And this is the corporate media reacting to this probability that the United States will be forced to shackle their genocidal colony. And MSNBC completely, this is just one segment, fam. I could have cut 5 different clips of the same description. Bro, Morning Joe, they was about to have a goddamn heart attack, bro. They was red in the face. Joe Scarborough about to pass out. He was so angry over this deal. So here's just a small example of what the kind of shit that's been aired on MSNBC following this deal.
How do you characterize this kind of settlement other than the Iranians got what they wanted, the Americans didn't, and that's where we're going from here?
Yeah, it's a disaster, actually, in so many ways. So Tom mentioned here that the Israelis are now being held back. And it sounds, a lot of people, it sounds like a ceasefire would be a good thing, right? Normally that sounds like something you'd want in Lebanon or anywhere. But the fact is that if we focus on Lebanon,
You guys see where they're going with this? The news anchor, by the way, all of them are Zionists. She's like, what does this peace deal mean for the Lebanese? So they're presenting this idea that stopping Israel from committing massacres in Lebanon that murdered over, you gotta know that over 3,500 people in Lebanon, I think it's like 3,700 people have died since March of this year. But MSNBC is making an argument that this deal is horrible for the Lebanese people because this is a person who calls himself a Lebanese Zionist. She used to work in Barack Obama's administration. Mm-hmm. She worked for George Bush as well, I believe. And this is the Zionist propaganda that is being spoon-fed to these boomers watching MSNBC. But also, you guys remember, this is the ruling class talking to each other. That's why I like to analyze this. And in the beginning, I thought this was funny because he was essentially melting down over them losing. But I'll let it continue. Here.
And then, Hagar, what does that mean for the Lebanese?
What does it mean for
Yeah, it's a disaster, actually, in so many ways. So Tom mentioned here that the Israelis are now being held back. And it sounds, a lot of people, it sounds like a ceasefire would be a good thing, right? Normally that sounds like something you'd want in Lebanon or anywhere. But the fact is that if we focus on Lebanon specifically, it's not there's no deal. Everybody was told to stop shooting, to put their arms down. We've now told one of our most important
everyone are being told to stop shooting and put their arms down. And she's framing it as a bad thing, Rome. In the beginning, you know how hard it is to do propaganda for war, where she's like, I know if you listen to this TV right now, I know the polls are showing that most Americans like ceasefires. She's like, guys, not all ceasefires are good. Don't you know we want to murder more people? Like, bro, this is a Klan rally. They're calling for more deaths because you guys see how this white girl, this white Lebanese Zionist, they're unable to secure more political victories and votes than Hezbollah. And they're becoming more popular as they're being shown as the real resistance against the United States and Lebanon. So in order to gain power and sell out to the Zionist class, they want the United States and Israel to murder more people in Lebanon so they can have a political advantage. Just like the Iranian diaspora who wants the United States to murder their way into power, just like the Venezuela diaspora Gusanos who want the United States to murder themselves into power. They want to murder the opposition. That's what she's calling for. She's calling for the mass murdering of Lebanese who oppose the Zionist project. And this is being aired on the quote-unquote liberal outlet.
There's no deal. Everybody was told to stop shooting, to put their arms down. We've now told one of our most important allies in the world that we don't want them defending themselves. The strike that Trump condemned over the weekend was a strike that was after a Hezbollah terrorist wanted by the United States for having killed 5 Americans, kidnapped and killed 5 Americans, Mohammed Daktouk. And here we are telling our ally that strike should have never happened because the Iranian regime gets shaky about it, because they're the ones suddenly that have the strength to negotiate from a position of strength. In Lebanon specifically, when you have a ceasefire that doesn't detail how Hezbollah is going to get disarmed, who's doing the disarmament, what happens with Israel, what are the terms of their withdrawal?
It's none of your freaking business.
The relationship between.
Go ahead, Rome, if you want to add anything.
It's none of her business. It's really none of our business at all. Like these people, and while we at it, I really hope Hezbollah take this time to overthrow Lebanon. Because as far as I can see, they are a waste. The army, whack. The generals, whack. The president, whack. Like what the hell are they doing? Why the people are getting genocide and they not even firing a fucking not even one missile? We couldn't even get we can't get no boots in the ground from the Lebanon army. Like what's going on? So yes, I think they should be overthrown. I really feel like that because if you're going to stand by and let Israel do this, then obviously some backroom deals are being made between the leadership. Because there is no way you're going to come into my country and I'm just going to let you just do whatever you want. And you got a militia. That's basically what they are, in the eyes of the laws. They are a militia doing more work than the actual government.
Yeah. Dude, they will spend their time condemning Iran as Israel was engaging in mass slaughter of their people. And this is the person who's speaking, by the way. I've seen her all the time on MSNBC. She's the Zionist they call in case of emergency. Whenever there's a big geopolitical happening, they have her on. You know who she is? She's a co-founder of the Lebanon-Israel Peace Alliance. What? Bro, are you serious? This is the Democratic Party. MSNBC is the news outlet of the Democratic Party. Instead of platforming people who are victims of the pager attack, for example, instead of interviewing the people who condemn Israeli genocide of the Lebanese people and the murder of over 3,700 people, they have her on, someone who wants a peace alliance between Lebanon and Israel. She's an agent of the Mossad. She's an agent of the Greater Israel Project. Her job is to convince the Lebanese people to surrender their sovereignty and to weaken themselves so they don't threaten Israel. And this is the kind of propaganda. These are the people you see platformed on these news networks. These are the ruling class talking to each other. Let's finish. I'll finish her spiel. I won't start the ceasefire part again. I finished the clip this time without interrupting it, so you can really appreciate how deranged she is, how deranged the ideology of the ruling class actually is. All right, I think I gotta reload it. Let me reload it.
Everybody was told anywhere, but the fact is, it sounds like a ceasefire would be a good thing, right? Normally that sounds like something.
I want to start what you said. The ceasefire is not a good thing.
Well, it sounds like a ceasefire would be a good thing, right? Normally that sounds like something you'd want in Lebanon or anywhere. But the fact is that if we focus on Lebanon specifically, it's not there's no deal. Everybody was told to stop shooting, to put their arms down. We've now told one of our most important allies in the world that we don't want them defending themselves. The strike that Trump condemned over the weekend was a strike that was after a Hezbollah terrorist wanted by the United States for having kidnapped and killed 5 Americans, Mohammed Daktouk. And here we are telling our ally that strike should have never happened because the Iranian regime gets shaky about it, because they're the ones suddenly that have the strength to negotiate from a position of strength. In Lebanon specifically, when you have a ceasefire that doesn't detail how Hezbollah is going to get disarmed, who's doing the disarmament, what happens with Israel, what are the terms of their withdrawal, what's the relationship between the Lebanese and Israeli militaries, what is the role of the U.S. military, it's a disaster because it emboldens Hezbollah to go out there. And by the way, they already are going out there saying, you see, it's the Iranians that brought us peace.
I'm sorry, I'll let it finish.
Us who are bringing you peace. No one in Lebanon believes it, but now they're going to the extent of threatening coups against the government, saying that the Lebanese government that did everything it could to separate itself from the Iranian regime, to pursue peace talks because they know it's in their national security interest, to say, you know what? This government doesn't represent us, and we don't want any kind of peace talks with Israel. It is a disaster.
So then what motivates?
It is a disaster for her because she let the truth slip out at the end. You guys heard what she said. She said Hezbollah is going out there celebrating, telling people that Iran is the country who liberated us, which would be true if this deal materializes and the United States reigns in Israel like Iran expects them to. Then Hezbollah gains a massive, gigantic political victory. You guys see the panic. This is why they're panicking, because Hezbollah could turn around and the people in Lebanon knows this. The people in Lebanon are seeing their government betray their people on behalf of Israel, allowing them to slaughter their people. Then Hezbollah could turn around like, see, we're the ones who smoked countless IDF terrorists. We are the ones who defend the homeland, and we are the one who subjugated and helped Iran weaken the United States and Israel. You understand how gigantic and how much that will turn Hezbollah to a regional militia power? And then Yemen's is still down there kicking it. Hey, they're like, hey, Yemen emboldened, Hezbollah emboldened, Iran emboldened. The empire is in shambles, and it's a holiday.
Damn, what the hell wrong with my cat? But yeah, they somebody says she looks afraid. They are afraid because the empire is losing their grip, man. We got to understand that we are not the number one superpower on this world anymore. Like, those days are over, and the more power that we lose, the more grip that we lose on these countries and whatnot. Like, man, we got to understand the damage that was done. Like, not only was Iran weakening Iran, but they was also targeting the UAE. Like they got rid of a lot of shit that they needed out there. Like it's gonna cost too much to rebuild. It's gonna cost too much to rebuild what we had lost.
Bro, those bases are gone.
Yeah.
So we're paying $300 billion to help them reconstruction, $400 billion. And then we got to rebuild the United States bases. They are gone. Corporate media didn't never acknowledge it, that the Iran completely obliterated U.S. military presence in the region. They decolonized the Middle East. A massive victory. I just saw this hotspot. You guys know our homies at hotspot. They're cooking right now, bro. Iran state media, Chinese state media, bro. I even see India state media. They going ham. Like the what's it called? The Hinduism Times. They post a lot of bullshit, but bro, they've been trashing Trump. They've been trashing the United States for losing this war. I found look, Ben Shapiro crashes out over U.S.-Iran deal. I haven't seen this, but this is a minute long. This is gonna be. But you gotta see, bro. Even Fox News is dragging his bitch ass. Ben Shapiro, this was the war that you cheered for. Mm-hmm. Didn't go quite the way you expected it to, huh? Let's I didn't see this, but we're nearly tuned in. I'm gonna keep this 90 minutes, and then we can send Zoya in. Me and Zoya, we can read some chats to wrap the show up. But let's listen. I'm gonna show some more reactions. I'm gonna see what else I can find, and we can begin to wrap this live stream up soon.
That said, this MOU appears to be, just from the text, a disaster that does not achieve any of the actual signal goals that were set by the administration at the beginning. There were effectively 5 goals that were set by the administration at the beginning. One was ending the nuclear program, not just nuclear weapons, no nuclear enrichment, zero enrichment. That is not in the deal. Ballistic missiles ended. That is not in the deal. And the president today suggested that ballistic missiles should actually continue to be held by the Iranians because the Saudis, our allies, also hold ballistic missiles.
Hey, take this L, homie. Take this L, homie. Hey, wasn't Trump your boy? That's your boy. I thought you said this war was going to go different, Benny. Now you know why you lost so many of your subscribers? This boy been bleeding tens of thousands of subscribers every week, bro. Now you guys see why? You got these dumbass Ben Shapiro viewers that are like, man, I think this guy feeding me bullshit. How bad is it that you're losing, like, because you know his audience are duopoly brains. They are the people who watch Ben Shapiro because he's a Republican. I vote Republican, so I watch Republican media. That's like Ben Shapiro audience. Even they was like, I think you feed me bullshit, bro. He's bleeding supporters. Let's hear this.
That Israel shit ain't helping not one bit, too.
This boy went live and told his audience that, hey, I don't think you deserve pensions. I don't think you deserve paid time off. You don't deserve to retire. You should work to death so you can send your taxpayer money to Israel. And he's surprised that message isn't quite landing anymore. Anyway, let's finish this clip.
Held by the Iranians because the Saudis, our allies, also hold ballistic missiles. Then you have the support of terrorism. That is not part of the deal. Anything that looks like an attempt to end terrorism. A permanent opening of the Strait of Hormuz toll-free. Not only is that not in the deal appears to have a provision allowing Iran and Oman to attempt to toll the strait after 60 days. And then finally, the idea that Iran would receive some sort of sanctions relief after all of those things happen. We are already seeing from day one relief in their ability to ship oil out of Iran. In my opinion, the Vice President of the United States, the chief negotiator on this particular project, has not well served the president.
So no shit. Bro, Fox News is absolutely furious about this right now. The cope is unbelievable. And
I just see somebody coping in your comments right now. That's the shit that they come. That's what they always say, right? Because when we say, "Oh, y'all get your ass beat by niggas in Vietnam," oh well, the point wasn't to win the war. Okay, well y'all got your ass kicked out in the Middle East. Oh well, it wasn't about to win the war. Okay, whatever. Now when y'all get your ass kicked by Russia,
yeah,
it's not going to be about a war.
That's next, fam. That ass whooping is definitely coming. Let's see what's with Hotspot, because Hotspot, they have a lot of videos that they've been posting. Oh, this is when Donald Trump admitted that he overthrew Syria. I may do another segment on that later. But Zoya, you here? We're about 9 minutes, and we can start a Q&A. I think I'm gonna be on Nico's house show tomorrow. I gotta confirm that. But Friday, Sarah from DDG, she's joining us. Dr. Sabrina joining me for Nick at noon on Monday. Nick and Jamal on Sunday. So we got a lot of content to cover. We got a lot of shows coming up. And I'm glad we was able to get Rome in here with us today. I miss doing shows with the homie Rome. This was the bang. We can do the next one on the RBN channel for sure. But Zoya, how you doing, my friend? Zoya's love, Zoya's life. Want to help close us out tonight? I have Zoya help read these chats for us. How you doing, my friend?
I'm awesome. What a beautiful combo. The whole chat is loving Rome being here.
It was nice being here.
Rome's going to do his own segment right now on the Revolutionary Blackout channel. So you guys can go ahead and migrate over there slowly.
Yeah.
See, Rome's getting his hair done.
Yeah, I'm still actually doing my hair.
You still going live tonight, Rome?
Yep, I'm about to go live right now.
I'll bet. So if you want to prepare, you can jump off if you want to. If you want to prepare, and me and Zoya can read super chats. And I know since you do another show, it's always great having you on. It's just good to have Rome back, bro. RBN, we all get everything back rolling again.
Mm-hmm.
RBN not dead, guys. We're just hibernating a bit. That's all. So thank you for joining us, Rome. Feel free to help prepare your show if you want to. I'm not kicking you off.
Thank you, man. Yeah, but yeah, I'll be back. So y'all can catch me on RBN. I'll be over there. Thank you, Nick, man. It's good to be back.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love Rome. He's my brother, man. But anyway, Zoya, I'll pass it to you, my friend.
All right, guys. How's everyone doing today? Let's get into your chats. Garlic lasagna, hit like, or you're a fascist, lazy liberal.
Yep, hey. It's true. It's true. If you don't want to be a fascist, lazy liberal, there's just one easy way to stop that.
Only way out, guys. Hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell. Rem Q1Q3H. I am watching Nick at 3 a.m.
Oh, nice. Where are you at? Like we have a huge international following considering our subscriber count. Like our international support is extremely high. You guys see why? Because we did our segment at the beginning of the show about how cooked the United States left is. Like, bro, a lot of these DSA leftists, they see me, they're like, oh, look at this fucking Putin puppet. The international left, I fuck with the global majority though. They're like, why did Nick always apologize for China? Don't you know we gotta defend Taiwan? Nick is too much of a tanky for me. I can't do it. I'm gonna subscribe to Hassan Piker instead.
Oh, it's painful but funny.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm just talking shit.
See, tough to it. Just lots of love. We all need a lot of love to survive the decay of capitalism. Joe Byers, wow, I'm catching Nick live for once. Yeah, what? YouTube hates us. Make sure you hit the bell, but even then, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, and these are the comments that keep the hope alive, because we get these comments all the time. People are like, oh shit, I actually catch the show for the first time. So I'm like, oh shit, there's still an audience I can capture. You know what I mean? And we seeing that there's people watching this for the first time. Hey man, there's still people out there that we can reach, and it's good to have you. Hoping we can continue to win you guys over. We almost at 10K. Our message is slowly spreading, but it's happening.
Yeah, it's the best reward for this work. Steward Redwords, hotspots. Yeah, make sure to check those out. Nick posts them all the time on his Twitter, Socialist MMA.
Banger after banger.
Garlic lasagna. We love Nick in Mexico City.
Hell yeah.
All over the world.
Yeah, we got a place to go to in China, Mexico City. We got homies in Moscow. Hey, we got connections on the international community, Zoya, and we're gonna take advantage of that one day.
Hopefully. Stephanie, Rome. Savvy, Rome. Lots of people were really happy to see Rome. Trippin, how do Europeans see how the USA got slapped up by Iran and think they can just roll into Russia? They're planning to just use proxies to do it. They're actually in the process of a color revolution in Armenia, so they can try to use Armenia as another proxy against Russia. Mr. Charles, yup, UK is now fully in George Orwell mode. Yeah, crazy to be living in these times. 4891, I missed Rome. Yeah, we all miss Rome. We love Rome. Justice, NATO, North Atlantic Terrorist Organization. We have that, by the way, on Bonfire. If you want to buy merch that says that NATO is a terrorist organization, the link is in the description, and 100% of the funds go to Gaza.
Yeah, send me to China, please. I'm about to be apparently on Chinese radio because Jason Smith, he has like a pretty decent radio program in China that airs in all the big cities. So I'm supposed to be in Chinese radio. So I'm like, guys, please acknowledge me. Please recognize me. I'm an American refugee.
Yep.
I'm an American refugee. Someone please. Well, either way, we got homies though. We got homies in China. If I ever go, I got beds I can crash in on China. There are comrades in China who know who I am. Trust me. Jason Smith is just one of them. So that's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We don't know exactly when, but when it does, that's how you know we evolve to the next level. When that Nick in China trip, imagine when I do my first live stream in China. That's how you know we evolved because it's gonna happen, fam. It's only a matter of time.
And there's a record amount of Americans leaving the country right now. So
yep. Hey, didn't Lenin leave? Like it's a model. Sometimes you gotta flee the empire, plan from the outside. Lenin left. Wasn't Lenin? Didn't he? He was expelled from the country.
He was exiled. Yeah.
So hey, I'm gonna have to be an American exile for a bit. You gotta realize if I ever set foot in the UK, they probably would arrest me immediately, friend. Immediately. You guys will never see me ever again after what I posted about Hamas. So it's only a matter of time before they try to chairman and molly my ass. So I need to get my ass to China sooner than later, to be honest.
But who wants to go to UK nowadays?
Yeah, what the fuck? That's like bottom one. That's like the absolute bottom of my list. If you ask me what countries I want to visit, London, ew. The fuck is visiting? Their disgusting food. Their basic ass culture. Who the fuck is visiting the UK? Who's crying over being banned in the UK? I would never go there. Never go there. Never go to Germany. I never go to none of those damn fucking European Nazi states. Get the hell out of here. There's so many beautiful African countries you can visit. There's so many beautiful things in China. I'm going to Moscow one day. I'm definitely want to go there. I'm gonna go to Brazil to hang out with my homie Nico House. Bro, there's so many different places I'd rather go to than the UK. Imagine going to Paris, bro. The streets are shit. Like people go to Paris and they say it literally smells like shit in Paris. It does. Their infrastructure is dog shit. I would never in a million years, bro. I'll go to China. I'll visit every city in China before I go to the UK.
UK, the original Epstein Island.
Yeah.
Don't bring your kids. Comrade Cranky, thank you for the $2. Anti-Fascist Wednesday with Nick and Rome. I'm in. Mark Puglisi, thank you for the $2. Remember Ray Epps? Fed. And from Ohio, Nazi Arming and Training Organization. Yeah, if they were telling the truth. Fine weather. As someone said a while ago that Putin is the leader people wish Trump was. Stern and not stupid. It's so refreshing to listen to Putin. Like, even if you hate him, just to...
I love listening to his speeches. His speeches are great.
They're so informative, and you just feel like someone's talking to you respectfully on your level, educating you in history, well-informed. Not like here. Here, they're just playing us. Our politicians literally infuriate people. They condescend to us, and they just talk in slogans. They don't actually ever discuss history. So absolutely, I think a lot of people can relate to wishing that we had leaders like Putin.
Yeah. Hey, Zoe, I'll be right back. I'll be back. I'll be back here soon.
Sounds good. It's just us now, guys. Justice. Ukraine attacked the iconic Orthodox Church Monday. Yeah, and that's after Ukrainians were saying they're atheists, after they arrested priests and attacked parishioners. This was so staged, and they had a film crew set up just so Zelensky can beg for more weapons. But it's all staged in reality. Pan is God. Good evening, comrades. Good evening to you. Leroy. They increased capital funding and named it after Floyd, who was murdered by them. Nasty work. Absolutely. That's how they gaslight us. They'll call bills, pro-worker, and they'll be anti-worker. Like, U.S. is just like we're in an abusive relationship with them, and they're using all of the abuser tactics. Metal Nick. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Absolutely. Iridescent Dragonfly. Yes, so freaking glad to see you two streaming together. Yeah, wasn't that nice? It happened very impromptu, but I'm so glad it worked out. Casey McCoy, trying to get us killed. Yes, that's what conclusion I've been coming to. They're definitely trying to start World War III. It's kind of like, when you rob the bank and then you want to blow it up afterwards to cover your crimes. So they want war because that's how they steal. Mr. Annual. Kat also, I believe this is Kat Abugazi, the candidate, also said on her website that the U.S. State Department should run Gaza and the people of Palestine should take out a loan to the U.S. to fix their land. Good God. The more I learn about her, the scarier it gets. I can't believe these people who are to the right of Nixon are actually under the label of progressive. Mike Check. I hate the term leftist. It allows people to hide behind left aesthetics without having actual principled stances on anything. Well said. Absolutely. That's why I'm at a point where I don't even care if people say leftist or not leftist. Are you anti-imperialist? Are you pro-worker? We gotta unite on material things, not this terminology that keeps getting weaponized. Ashura, Hassan is a liberal Zionist cosplaying as a commie. He's no resistance fighter. Absolutely true. BZ Queen Bee, thank you for the $10. Love the RBN night. Yeah, it's good to see a lot of new faces and old friends. Justice, the Soros left. Oh, it hurts so much. Grumpy Jones, if the Ukraine was a country during World War II, they would have been an Axis country. Well, Western Ukrainians actually collaborated with Nazis, and the OUN was committing such atrocities that the Nazis had to stop them and say that they were going too far. So Western Ukraine's a really large country, but they were Nazi collaborators. Kylie Jones, the Nazis and their ideology go hand in hand with the USA. Yes, the origin of Nazism, the Nuremberg laws and everything, they sent attorneys here to study American Jim Crow and race codes in order to write their laws. So this is the birthplace of the original Nazism. Rick Manigault, Iran won big time. Unfortunately, the US never stops. As you guys can see with Syria, with Cuba. I mean, it took them over a decade to topple Syria. So they won the battle. We haven't won the war. CBC voter, Nick Cruse and Rome. For sale, thank you for the $5. They told Trump all the money he stole is worthless if the economy crashes. Sit your ass down. I love how you spelled that. I show Mexican day. Oh, history is being made. Daniel 777, shithole country. Michael Chillbot, thank you for the $5. It feels like a dream. We won bigly. The fight continues. Kylie Jones, we make expensive weapons that don't even work. Absolutely. And China can build a jet in a matter of weeks that it takes the US trillions of dollars and years to build and then just have it not work. That's actually a fact. You guys can look into it. So, and this is the country they want to go to war with. Mr. Annual, unfortunately, workers have to bear the brunt of it, even if it can't beat other militaries. Workers always bear the brunt of it. That's the way the system is designed. Mic check. Assange exposed the whole money laundering scheme, and look at how they tortured him for it. Another shout out to Blueser for the $100. Definitely here for this duo. Thank you so much. Very generous super chat. It's deeply appreciated. Jimmy Lee, we spend the most on healthcare too, and it's not close to the best. We actually do spend the most, and we have the worst outcomes. You guys can look it up. We spend the most and have the worst outcomes, which is so exemplary of capitalism. Saldivar, thank you for the $5. Rome, if you AI edit a hammer and sickle brand onto a pick of a horse and send it to him, Vosh will get Karl Marx tattooed on his butt tomorrow. That's funny. Dale Liam Doris. Oh, Liam, good evening, all. Good to see you. Fei Lu, American economy is the stock market economy. Yeah, it's a fake economy. You literally have corporations just loaning each other money back and forth. All of this imaginary digital space currency that doesn't exist in any tangible way. You know, workers don't count here. Workers will never count unless they rise up and organize and fight for what is theirs. No, power never concedes anything.
What? But Zoe, I thought we just got to vote blue no matter who. Isn't that how we get power for the working class?
Oh shit! I forgot. I watched Kyle Kalinske, and he told me if I would have just voted for Kamala, none of this would have been happening.
I was about to roast him tonight, but we didn't have time. That roast is coming.
Thank God. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh. Casey McCoy, akin Rome. Okay, now I really adore you. Rome is a massive cat person. He loves cats. I've seen Rome with at least like 10 cats at this point, and he loves them. If you guys go over and watch him on a Revolutionary Blackout, I bet you he's going to bring the cat into the frame.
I'm down for that.
Bryce Smith, Nick is hilarious. Absolutely. He keeps us laughing through all of these really painful times.
The only way I can respond.
Captain Obvious, sup peeps. So Captain Obvious is one of our old school viewers who said he just stumbled upon us by chance. He didn't get a notification or anything. He was just happy to figure out we were live. So remember, guys, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Hello, man. Can't make this stuff up. M. Sparks, thank you for the $5. Salute. Comrade Cranky, thank you for the $5. In Mississippi, a cop shot and killed a 1-year-old baby during a shoplifting incident on Sunday. This is America. What's worse about that, and I haven't fact-checked this, but what I saw being posted on Twitter is that the mother actually took diapers and she had the receipt for it. So not only did they execute this child and put 3 bullets into her, but she wasn't even committing a crime from what I was reading.
If you think you like Rome now, wait till you meet him one day. That's all I'm gonna say.
He's
Rome,
very, very tall.
Yeah. And Rome is like one of those people he's like one of the few people online. He is exactly who the fuck he says he is, bro. Like he's exactly like there's no gimmicks. everything about Roman. It becomes real when you really meet him. I hung out with him multiple times. He was in Kansas City. We hung out in Chicago a few times with the Hampton family. When you meet Rome, that's how you know. That's when you know, like, damn, I'm dealing with a real motherfucker. I need to step my game up just being around him.
And Rome is really smart. I met him in LA in person too. So he actually has answers to questions that most people don't. He has a good strategy. Lots of love to Rome. It was good to have him here. Cello Man, according to international law, resistance is justified when people are occupied. We got to keep.
How dare you quote international law? Were you a terror sympathizer?
We got to keep reminding people of, this is their own rules that they're breaking. Cheese Rock, what up, humanity? Mr. Annual, movements in Africa will probably get some motion from this too. They've been getting motion, and France and all of the colonizers are furious, and they're sending in terrorists that they fund, actually, in order to try to keep destabilizing all of these countries that are building their own sovereignty and infrastructure. Like
wait until Russia defeats NATO and NATO becomes weaker. Remember what we told you guys about the consequences of the weakening of the dominant empire hegemon? That only benefits resistance movements all around the world. The fall of the USSR set humanity back in a tremendous way because USSR, Soviet Union, they supported many revolutionary movements against the fascist West, and that gave them a monopoly on the world, which led to countless more slaughters and genocides. But as we're witnessing the rise of this new axis of power in Russia and China, and obviously this massive geopolitical regional superpower we're going to see in Iran after they defeat the United States, that's only going to greatly serve the people who are victims of this Western imperialist empire. Like, just remember what that Lebanese Zionist lady said. This is a massive boon for Hezbollah. This is a massive boon for the Lebanese people who don't want to live under the Zionist boot. There's so many different ways you can analyze it, but there's a trickle down effect for the global South and people who resist imperialism. Every L the empire takes is a boon for humanity. I was about to make it smaller, but honestly, you can just say humanity. And Iran defeating the United States is going to have a massive reverberations all throughout geopolitics that we're going to feel for years, bro. There's a reason why Israelis are in shambles. There's reasons why John Bolton, bro, they are in full-blown panic attack mode over what's going on right now. I just showed you guys a small fraction. They realize how big of a moment this is for resistance all over the world.
Absolutely. If you're ever feeling pessimistic and wondering what's actually possible, look at Burkina Faso. Just look at everything Ibrahim Traore is achieving in such a short amount of time. That's what I do. I love him.
Yeah, he's a superstar in Africa that helped shift the I should say he really helped accelerate the spread of the Pan-African movement. The rise of consciousness in the African continent and resisting France, United States hegemony and showing that Africa that they can build stuff. They have the riches, they have the resources, and that's why he's a superstar. And like these sellout African leaders in Nigeria, the people plotting to kill him, like the military leader that he overthrew. I don't remember his name off my head. He was plotting with African leaders to kill Ibrahim Traore because of the massive threat. Because he's radicalizing people in other African countries. That's how big of an effect he's having. He's a true revolutionary, and he's just now getting started. Like, I fear for his life. A lot of people fear for his life because they're trying to kill him. He survived like 20 assassination attempts this year already, bro. And leaked cable. Go ahead, Zoe.
His people love him. I actually saw footage that when there was a terrorist threat, people slept on the street outside his residence, like all night long to protect him.
Yeah, man, like his story is incredible. I'm so scared. Like they did a good job defending him, but bro, the West wants him dead. They're funding terrorist groups, and then they write articles celebrating whenever the terrorist groups like gain any foothold. Because they try to use it as a way to dunk on him after expelling the French in the United States, even though they was only driving terrorism. either way, yeah, Burkina Faso, the eyes of the entirety of Africa and the African diaspora is on him. Which I could say I'm an African descendant of slave. And everyone should be rooting for Traore. Because I gotta do I need to do a segment when they breaking this down. I need to bring the receipts. But I went on a deep dive and there's like all these sellout African leaders who was plotting to kill him. I don't know if you saw this, but they was working with former coup leaders in Burkina Faso who fled the country. And there was this leaked cable that exposed how France was working with these African leaders to plot the assassination of Traore. That's why I'm not worried about like the people in Burkina Faso. They are 100% behind him. I'm worried about if these African leaders or these terrorist militias, if they manage to slip through and do something to him. That's what I'm worried about because he's a gigantic threat. Like I can't even emphasize how much of a threat. He's also doing it under a Marxist-Leninist model. And they made it clear that they're following the Marxist-Leninist model of building and anti-imperialism. And if they continue to be successful, it will show a sign throughout all of Africa and lead this shift against these neoliberal planet rulers like we see in William Ruto in Kenya, for example. But go ahead, Zoe. There's a whole segment we can do on that alone. We're big Ibrahim Traore enthusiasts, to say the least.
Absolutely. Cuckoo Clan, or no, Can Man, not Clan. Sorry. Thank God, I believe we need to make America Mexico again. Wouldn't that be nice? Come on, Claudia Scheinbaum.
Yeah.
Stop slacking off. We need to be liberated. Winced on Mutt. You got serious patients combing through that MSNBC slop to highlight left sociopaths.
Yeah, fam. Sometimes the segments are really hard to get through, but the ones that in the last 48 hours have been enjoyable to me to listen to be honest. Like the segments where they're complaining about the United States losing are always, to me, it's comedy. I don't watch any of the other segments. I don't watch electoralism, their culture war. I always skip those. I only watch whenever they cover foreign policy stuff. I always want to see what they're saying about that. I can't stomach like 90% of their content. I'm like, if they do a video on Ukraine, I'm like, let me see what these motherfuckers are saying. And then a lot of times they say stuff that's hard to listen to. But them analyzing their defeat to Iran is one of the most enjoyable videos I can watch. That's how much of a political nerd I am. Like to me, it's comedy. But go ahead, Zoya.
But it's important to know because when we're interacting with working class, this is exactly the kind of talking points that they parrot. So that's why debunking them is a community service. Frankel, unipolar circular economic logic crumbling equals priceless. This is a little bit of pushback, but I don't think you disagree with anything here. Stephen J. Dubois, your idea that we lost Middle East presence is completely fake news. We have over 50,000 soldiers stationed in the Middle East. Yes, there was comprehensive damage done, but nothing that can't be fixed.
Yeah, I don't know what he puts back on because I never said we lost the Middle East. Iran is undeniably will come out as a gigantic regional superpower and a check to the United States and the Israeli project, which is why they are terrified. So that is the extent in which is a massive geopolitical loss, and also the rising anti-American sentiment coming from the genocide in Gaza, them allowing them to slaughter people in Lebanon. I think it's undeniable that the United States presence in the Middle East is weakened. I don't know if you agree or disagree with that. I don't know how anyone can disagree with that statement, though. Just to say the United States is weaker. I don't think I said. Did I say that we lost the Middle East completely? I don't think I said that. But we are 100% weaker. I think that's what I said.
And it's a massive propaganda win as well, because all of these military bases and targets that were considered untouchable before have been touched. So even though they will rebuild, and I don't think anyone has any illusions about that, it's still a massive victory for Iran, what they were able to achieve. But of course, they won the battle. They haven't won the war. The U.S. is still just as genocidal and is going to try to come back for more. Like they always do. Toll, thank you for the 20 pounds. Solidarity from England. Look at how many international viewers we have. That
Yeah.
makes me so happy. I don't know why.
Yeah. Hey, we may be drawn in under the U.S. left, but leftists all around the world support us. That guy got it tough. He live in the UK. Be careful what you post, bro. be careful what you post.
Zaldivar, thank you for the $2. Nick, do GoFundMe for China trip. Maybe one day, but it might be a one-way trip. That's the problem. Look at what they just did to Chris Halali. He was in China, and while he was there, they put him on a no-flight list, and he literally couldn't catch a flight out.
Yeah, I'm gonna apply for refugee status. The reason why I don't do stuff like this though, because I feel like there's money that could be spent better other places. You know what I mean? Like I have the followers where I could easily do a GoFundMe trip to like Africa. Like you guys think I couldn't pull a mini speed, but wouldn't that be contradictory of me though? Because I tell people I don't want them wasting their money on politicians. I don't want them wasting money donating to campaigns. So I don't want to take money when it's not necessary. You know what I mean? Eventually, if I continue to grind and we get more ad revenue on YouTube as our Patreon will grow, and if I can get some decent savings, I'll go to China. But I think there's more money. I'd rather you guys like help Shama. You know what I mean? For example, like there's help donate to Palestine funds. So as much as I want to, you guys think I don't want to do? Hey, send me on my vacation to China, guys. Like that would be fucking dope. But I truly believe what I say, and I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I did that. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's more. I'd rather you guys donate to other stuff. To be honest,
I'll let you read this one, Nick.
Tell Carl or John Yu to take you to Heaven on Earth massage parlor in Hong Kong. Is that a real place? I thought that was like a Rush Hour bit. Nick, get you some Mushu. I don't need to pay for that. just to say that.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a revolutionary baddie, and there's plenty of those around, especially in China.
Revolutionary baddie. Yeah, that's the dream, fam. That is the absolute dream. Get a revolutionary baddie.
Mike check. Thank you for the $9.99. LOL, YouTube wouldn't let me post my other chat, so I'll just say banger stream as usual. Solidarity, free Palestine. What a beautiful super chat to end on. Thank you guys so much for joining. Remember, you can still catch Rome on the Revolutionary Blackout Network. I'm sure he's going to do a banger stream as well. Catch us here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Sundays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Nick is on with Jamal. Remember to please like, share, subscribe. Support our work on Patreon as well. YouTube takes a huge cut of these super chats. I believe it's 40%. So the best way to support the show is Patreon. We know you're working class, so every dollar from you is much appreciated to help us do this work. And remember, we have a bonfire link in the description, which 100% of the proceeds go to Gaza for anti-imperialist merch. Love and solidarity as always. Nick, I'll let you have the last word.
Zoya's love. Zoya's live. I had Zoya with me live, and I had Ron with me live tonight. That's how you know I'm blessed. It was a blessed evening. Two of my favorite humans. On Friday, Sarah from DD Geopolitics, she joined us. DDG has always been killing it. I want to see if we can have Chris Halali join us as well. I'm gonna see because he was supposed to join us during last live stream and then something came up. So I'm gonna see if I can get him as well. I want to talk about what's going on with him in the state. But DDG, they do great work. I'm gonna have them on Friday. Dr. Sabrina joined us. We're doing a special Nick at noon on Monday. It's been a while since I had her on, but we locked in this time. So we got a lot of great content. I got a lot of great guests in the book for you guys. There was a lot of rescheduling. Like I haven't had a lot of luck with guests the last few weeks because there's been a lot of rescheduling. But I got a lot of guests I'm locking in. There's a lot of great content coming out. So make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching, make sure you check if you're still subscribed because people get unsubscribed all the time. Also, Rome is live right now. Make sure you subscribe to the RBN page, which is being throttled because of inactivity, to be fair. But make sure you guys go to check out Rome. We're going to rebuild the RBN channel and the RBN movement. So stay there with us, support us in our movement, and have a great rest of your night, my friends. Take care.